What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Hey. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a great week so far. Let me get ready to say hi to the people as you guys come in. Sorry, excuse me. Child, I keep stuff in my bra all the time, honey. I keep stuff in my bra all the time. Okay. Let's get ready to get into the things, you guys. We have some things to talk about. Let me say hi to the people. Let's go. And we're going to get into it, honey. Hey, Miss Lemon Kush. What's up, Gina Bina? Hey, Deborah Randall. How you doing? Hold on. Let me scroll back up to the top. For real. Okay. Hey, correct. Tracy, Amber, Faris. How you doing? What's up, Nay? Had to join your live since I can't get a text back. Girl, I don't even know what you're talking about. What's up, Quake? Hey, little baby. Hey, Brandon. See, Golden, Sharice, Xavier. What's going on? You sent me a text about a t-shirt, and I couldn't even open up that link. I don't even know what you're talking about. It wouldn't open up. It ain't like you asked me a question. You was like, this is my favorite t-shirt. And the link wouldn't open. So I'm going to need you to calm down, Niecy. What's up, Symmetry? Hey, D-Cop. Hey, Cali Girl, Lady of Virtue. Hey, Kenya. What's up, Miss Sharon? Hey. Makia, hey Francois, how you doing, my love? I haven't seen you in a while. Morgan, Danny, Cub Star. Okay, Cub Star, you made a live. Yes, welcome. Hey, Spiderweb, what's up, everybody? Let's get into the things. Now, listen. Hey, chat with a shake. Don, I shouted you out yesterday. I remember I told you guys that Chef Don allowed me to use his audio of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and I appreciated it. My love, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Hey, Montrez, you know, a lot of times people talk about, the picture didn't come through, Nay. Sorry. There's a picture in the national sweatshirt you gave me. I really feel like you took that sweatshirt. I don't remember giving you that sweatshirt as much as you just decided you was going to commandeer it. But okay, girl. Hey, Sweet Pea, what's up, Vovo? Hey. You love the seamless transition from El Teddy. What's up, Pam? Hey, Tracy. Now, listen, I have, you work night shifts. Oh, I understand, child. I get it. Yes, I did. Oh, yeah, Don, that's my boo. That's my boo. And, you know, a lot of times people talk about how YouTubers, especially your boy Steve Harvey yesterday, talked about YouTubers pulling each other down and crabs in a barrel and all this other stuff. And, hey, my therapist, Pam. What's up? Hey, Renee. You did get a notification, child. Y'all know how YouTube be playing with us with these notifications. Matter of fact, let me put it on my community wall right now to be live. And then I got something to say, and then we're going to move right on in. Because I have something to say, and maybe I'm going to step on some toes. I don't even know. But then we're going to move right on in, child, because we have bigger fish to fry. So let me say this. Thank you, everybody who enjoyed the collab with Mims yesterday. It was a good time. Let me say this. So somebody left a comment under my video from yesterday, and they said they were a first-time viewer. So I hope you stayed. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you subscribed. And if you didn't, I understand. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And the comment that the person left was, I just have one question. You know, I got to read it the way I read it in my head, just how I heard it in my head. I just have one question. If you were Shirley's age, what would you do? Have some empathy. So first of all, you asked me a question, and without even knowing my answer, you made an assumption. Because you asked me, what would I do? Then you said, have some empathy. So you don't even know what my answer is to assume that there is no empathy there. Let me say this about empathy. And, you know, I'm not about to pull up no Webster's dictionary definition of empathy. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. Because of her age, she should know better. I do have empathy that this woman has lost everything behind a man. I do. Child, we got a whole a whole cable channel, Oxygen, that was built off of Snap, which is all about women who snap. Okay, that is what it is. That is what it's about. But empathy is not something that, for me, I can't speak for y'all, but for me, I don't just throw empathy out. I do feel bad that this woman lost everything. But what I don't feel is that just because she's an older woman, that I should just throw it at her. Okay. Now listen, what I need you to understand, for the person who made that comment, you don't know the whole story. Now, I don't know what you thought I was supposed to show her empathy for, because you didn't give me an opportunity to answer. You made an assumption. So am I supposed to show empathy because she married this man who she decided, even though he had a criminal background, she was going to give him a second chance? Sure, I do. We've all met people who are flawed, who have past and have history, and we've decided to move past that. Boom, no problem. I can accept that. Am I supposed to have empathy because she was standing by her man in the midst of his criminal activities? Am I supposed to have empathy for this woman who put everything in this man's name? You lost your house, you lost your car. Your car wasn't even in your name. That's how they took the car, because the car wasn't even in your name. Am I supposed to have empathy for a woman who, even though she claimed, see, this is where you got to have the whole story. Even though she claimed that she's in the process of divorcing this man, you wrote a whole affidavit 4 months ago. That affidavit that we read on my channel, and Pam read on her channel, and Don read on his channel, that affidavit wasn't from a year ago when he first got arrested. Well, you didn't know, you didn't understand, you didn't have all the information. No. That was written in June of 2023. So in June of 2023, you were still vouching for this dude. So no, I can't have no empathy for that. I can't have no empathy for that. So I'm sorry if that makes me a cold person to you. I'm sorry if that you feel like that's not a nice way, or that's not godly, or whatever it was that you was trying to get me to feel. But I'm sorry, I don't. Now, do I feel bad that this woman is at this age and she's where she is? I do. I honestly do. I cannot imagine being in my 60s having to start over, and I don't even have a home to go to. You are literally sleeping at a friend's house and sleeping in hotel rooms. No, I absolutely feel bad for that. But what I don't feel bad for is the fact that you are still, as of 4 months ago, you still trying to help this man in the midst of all of these charges that he's been hit with. And we know that some of those charges are horrific. His charges are not just fraud and stealing money and stuff. His charges are, now, he ain't been convicted of nothing. Sure. And if you want to stand by your man, girl, stand by your man. But I'm supposed to empathize with that? No, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. See, that's what happens when you start. See, that's what happens when you be reading these comments and then you go live, child. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Now I want to read what therapist Pam said, because my therapist Pam, she gonna give it to me, the clinical, right? She said, let me help you out. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. I do feel, really, be that you did have moments where you expressed empathy, but Shirley was also really naive. Thank you. And I said that in my response to the person. My response to the person was, I feel like I did show empathy. I said I felt bad for her. I absolutely said that yesterday. But I don't know what you want from me. Sorry. I got a question. If the car and our was in the company's name, where all the money at? The house wasn't in the company's name, but she put, what happened was she put his name on the house. And then she had to take his name off the house, and she ended up selling the house, her house in LA. The house here in Atlanta, they were renting. She had a house in LA, and she put his name on the house when they got married. And then she had to take his name off the house, and she had to hurry up and sell it before they came and got the house. And then when they moved to Atlanta, they were renting. So that's what I mean by she lost her house behind this. And then the car, I have no idea why she didn't put that car in her name. I have no idea why she put that. I mean, I do. There are tax benefits to putting your vehicle in a business name. If you have a LLC or you have a business, there are tax benefits to that. I mean, there are people who drive around in Teslas and G-Wagons for free because it falls under a certain tax code and it's covered if you run a business. So I understand if it was from that point of view. But again, my mama, my grandmama, my auntie, my great grandmama, all the women in my family have always told me, God bless the child that's got his own. And these are traditional women who were married. You know, y'all know that my grandparents were married till my grandfather passed. On my mother's side. Y'all know that my mom and my dad are high school sweethearts. My aunt and her husband who's passed were high school sweethearts. My other aunt and her husband who's passed, they were high school sweethearts. I've been blessed to see that. But they also taught me, God bless the child that's got his own. And you married that man when you were in your 50s. Moving on. All right, y'all, let's get into some things and the things, y'all. Let's get into some things and the things. I know y'all wanted me to tap the screen. I ain't tapping that screen. I can't tap the screen with somebody I don't know. I can't tap the screen with somebody I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Never put a man on your deed, husband or not. Ooh, ooh. Desperation made her gullible. I could see that. I felt so sad for her when she said, I don't have nothing. And Shay, that's when I was showing empathy. I felt that. I really felt that for her. When she was like, I have nothing, I really felt that. I'm not even lying. I'm not being funny or nothing. I felt that because that's got to be a hard reality. There has to be a hard reality to wake up and realize when she finally allowed herself to step in that, there's got to be a hard reality for her to be like, I don't have shit. You barely got a job. Now, here's my empathy. Y'all want to hear my empathy for Shirley? For Shirley Strawberry? Y'all want to hear my empathy? Here's my empathy. And I know I'm not using that correctly at this point, but I'm just going to throw it out there and I'm going to close this out. Shirley, let me tell you, here's my advice. This ain't my empathy. This is my advice. Let me tell you what, if I were her friend, if this is the advice that I would give Shirley Strawberry if she were my friend. If she were my friend, this is what I would tell her to do. I would tell her first thing tomorrow morning. I was getting ready to say Tony Braxton, but y'all ain't ready for that. But tomorrow morning, I would call an agent and I would get me an agent and I would tell my agent, I would like to start a podcast, a spinoff doing my own Strawberry Letter. Now, she probably can't call it the Strawberry Letter because all of that is probably trademarked under Steve Harvey's company. I'm sure it is. Unless she was Shirley Strawberry before she started doing the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I don't know. I ain't about to do the research. But if she owns her name, Shirley Strawberry, and she owns the title Strawberry Letter, she need to start a podcast doing her own Strawberry Letter segment and bringing people on. Like if she did a Strawberry Letter on, I probably would stay away from criminal husbands. I probably would stay away from anything that's connected to your personal situation right now. But you can find Strawberry Letters on all kinds of stuff. My kids are bad as hell. My kids' teacher disrespectful. My husband wanna quit his job and start a rodeo. I don't know. Find you some letters. And you could do a 1-hour podcast 3 times a week, and you get you an agent, and you can get it put somewhere like iHeartRadio or one of these bigger platforms, Spotify, one of these bigger platforms. You have a built-in audience, and right now, people want to hear what you have to say. Even if you ain't talking about your own personal business, people are going to tune in just in case you slip up one day and you start telling it. People go, so it's going to be an instant hit. It's going to be some outside income that don't have nothing to do with Steve Harvey. And it's doing what you already know how to do. Because at this point, child, you ain't starting a new thing. I mean, what you going to do? What's going to go be a greeter at Walmart? I mean, let's be real about it. But if you can sit in your house, apartment, wherever you have landed, and do what you've been doing for the last 15 years anyway, but you can do it and you can make your own money off of it and put your own spin to it and do it on a platform that you're used to doing. Shit, this is the same thing we said about Wendy Williams. You don't have to do anything to start a podcast. You can do it in your living room with a microphone. And if you get you an agent that can get it on the right platforms, you don't have to do like the rest of us have to do and come down here to YouTube and build up, a following and stuff. That thing could go right on over there to iHeartRadio or Spotify, and you could be making, I don't know how much you get paid, but you could be making them some decent money in a little bit of time. Now, if I was your friend, that's what I would tell you, Shirley. If I was your friend, that is what I would tell you. Now, that's all I got. Moving on. Little baby say that's really beats Jack Daniels moment. That's all I got. Okay. Right. That's what I'm saying, correct. She been doing them letters for 15 years. She could go back and do old letters. They don't have to be recent letters. They don't even have to be real letters. How we gonna know? We're not gonna know whether the letters are real or not. They could be old letters. We don't know. Half of us ain't listened to the Steve Harvey Morning Show forever. And even when I used to listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show, let me tell y'all a little secret. Y'all want to hear? I did used to listen to Steve Harvey back in the day when I used to listen to the radio. Steve Harvey I would listen to. I ain't going to tell y'all no lies. I used to listen to Tom Joyner. And when I got tired of listening to Tom Joyner, I would flip back and forth between him and Steve Harvey. I did. But let me tell y'all a little secret. Child, I ain't never listened to the Strawberry Letter because I didn't care. I didn't care about these people with their problems, and I didn't care about her advice. Now, I'm just telling you the truth. So I wouldn't know if she reading a letter from last week, last year, or 5 years ago. I promise you I wouldn't. Because I never listened. Now, that's my advice. That's all I got. Moving on. Her ex-husband is Michael Strawberry. So that's her real name. Well, there you go. Stevie Wonder owns KJAL. Stevie Wonder is Shirley's boss and not Steve Harvey. I think I think that might be, and Cali girl, you might know more than I know. So I believe that's how it started, but I think Steve Harvey owns his show now. I think it is because his show is syndicated. It's on multiple stations. I think Steve Harvey owns the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I think that's how it started. Steve Harvey started like that, but that's just like Tom Joyner. Tom Joyner started on a particular radio station, but he owns the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Yeah, he owns it. Yeah, he owns the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Now, Shirley Strawberry is her legal name, and so that's where the Strawberry Letter came from. So yeah, either way, her name is what's gonna, she can't talk about kids either. Well, listen, I'm just trying to get a woman some advice for her to help making her Google it. I live here in LA. That's where, right, Cali girl. I believe you. I believe that's where it started. But I also believe that Steve Harvey owns his show now. He owns the show now. Now, I'm not going to stop the show to Google it, but I will look it up. I will check because y'all know I don't have no problem telling you if I'm wrong about something. I don't have no problem saying my bad, Cali girl. I looked it up and da. One of my Bennett sisters, she works for Stevie Wonder's radio station out there. Tammy Mack. That's my girl. But anyway, moving on, y'all. I done spent too much time on it. I wasn't even planning on talking about them, and I done gave them too much of my time. We got other stuff to talk about, y'all. Let's get into these things here. Okay, shout out. We got some Black Girl Magic. Coco Gruff. Am I saying it right? Is it RGR or Guff? Is it Guff or Gruff? Okay. Coco Guff won the US Open this weekend. It was she's the youngest. First of all, she broke the women's streak. I mean the US streak. The US had been in a drought. The US ain't even been winning the US Open, but she's also the youngest American to win it. Since Venus won in 1999, I think they said. And it was a good match, Just P. It was a good match. I don't profess to be the biggest I don't profess to be the biggest tennis person, but I will watch tennis, and I like tennis. But I watch select people. Y'all know what I'm saying, child. You know what I'm saying. Did I say Serena? I didn't say Venus. Did I say Serena right? Okay. So shout out to Coco Gauff. If I really hope I said your name right, baby. All right. Shout out to Robin Roberts. Shout out to Robin Roberts, who married her longtime partner this weekend. Shout out to her. I'm happy for her. We know Robin Roberts been through some things. She battled cancer, and she finally came out, although it wasn't much of a secret. But again, I believe that people come out when they are ready to come out, and if they never want to come out, Queen Latifah, they don't have to come out. You know what I mean? It's their business. Don't nobody have to come out heterosexual, so don't nobody have to come out homosexual. That's their business. But so congratulations to her. Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about this Hollywood strike situation for a second. I want us, all of us, myself included, all of us to move past our own personal irritation and inconvenience that we don't have no new TV coming in the fall, right? Now is the time where we normally are getting ready. We normally have our new shows, our new seasons, new TV shows coming on. Now is the time when we get excited about all of that, right? I read something today. Ooh, I hope I screenshotted it. But I know who posted it. So if I didn't screenshot it, I know who posted it. Hold on, somebody. Should I be? What is this? What is this? Oh, child. Okay. Hold on. I know who posted it. I mean, I know who wrote it. So let me see this. His name. Oh shoot. Oh. It's gonna make me mad. Now I'm not gonna find it. Okay. I know I didn't screenshot it. I know I did screenshot it. And shout out, speaking of Queen Latifah, shout out to my girl Latifah for singing the national anthem down to the Giants Cowboys game the other night. And baby, she did a good job. To me, I feel like that was the best like remixed version of the Star Spangled Banner since Marvin Gaye's version back in the I think it was 1983 at the NBA All-Star game. Baby, she remixed and freaked it, and then she had the choir behind her. I was here for it. I was so here for that. Okay. I was here for that. Anyway, hold on, y'all. I know how to find who I'm looking for. I know how to find who I'm looking for. Hmm. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Because I want to read this to y'all. Here it is right here. I knew his name was Jason. All right. So I want to read you guys this. This is posted from Jason Atun. He is on NCIS Hawaii. That's how I knew. I just went to the hashtag NCIS Hawaii. But I follow him on Instagram and he posted this. He said, "It's September. IASTE, 170,000 members. SAG-AFTRA, 160,000 members. WGA, 25,000 members. That's 355,120 people currently out of work. Conservatively, if you double that to account for all of the businesses that provides goods and services to the film industry, you have 710,240 people out of work. Make a deal, fucking figure it out. And I feel the same way. I just feel the same way. I know that the biggest thing that they're arguing over, or I can't come to a agreement about, I know it comes down to AI and streaming residuals. I get that, but at the end of the day, there's money there, and the industry is just being greedy. In my opinion, the industry is just being greedy. People like Jennifer Hudson, Drew Barrymore, Whoopi Goldberg, people who have their SAG, Jerry O'Connell, people who have their SAG card, but are also on a talk show, are sort of, they have a double-edged sword. Drew Barrymore was getting a lot of slack because she decided to bring her talk show back in the midst of the strike. The fact that she is a member of SAG and the fact that her show won't have any writers. Same thing with The View. Same thing with The Talk. People like the Whoopi Goldbergs of the world and the Drew Barrymores and the Jennifer Hudsons who, yes, they are a part of SAG, but they also have an obligation to their family. When I say family, I mean their show family, right? It puts everybody in a really bad situation. Yeah, figure it out. You have to remember too that the writers have been on strike for well over 100 days. Most of and again, I think sometimes I love NCIS Hawaii, Cindy. And I think a lot of us, and again, when I say us, I mean everybody. I think a lot of us think Hollywood and we just assume everybody's got money, and they don't. A lot of them are making, paycheck. Hey, Diva One, mwah, my love. And so, yeah, the Denzel Washingtons of the world ain't hurting, but the person making minimum wage, working, on a movie set. Imagine you missing your paycheck for 100 days or more, and so I'm very pro labor, but I also feel like there's a time where we have to come together in good faith and really negotiate in the best interest of everybody. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Okay. The 5 officers who have been accused of beating Tyree Nichols to death have officially been indicted by a grand jury, and I say good riddance to garbage. Especially if this all comes down to that it was over the fact that Tyree was dating one of these officers' ex-girlfriend, baby mama, whatever, and they set him up to beat his ass. I hope y'all rot in jail. That's all I got to say about that. Where do we go next? Let me just go on and get this Erica Mena thing out the way, child. Let me just go on and get it out the way. Just read out what this shit just say. Okay. Oh, let me read you Drew Barrymore's statement. Drew Barrymore made an official statement. She said, I made a choice to walk away from the MTV Film and Television Award Show. I was the host, and it had a direct conflict with the strike. I was also in the first week of the strike, and so I did what I thought was the appropriate thing at the time to stand in solidarity with the writers and to clear. Our talk show actually wrapped up in April, and we never had to shut down the show. However, I am also making the choice to come back for the first time in this strike for our show that had my name on it because it is bigger than just me. I own this choice. We are in compliance with not discussing or promoting film and television that is struck of any kind. We launched live in a global pandemic. Our show was built for sensitive times and has only functioned through what the real world is going through at this time. I want to be there to provide what writers do so well, which is a way to bring us together to help us make sense of the human experience. I hope for a resolve for everyone as soon as possible. We have navigated difficult times since we first came on air, and so I take a step toward the start of season 4 once again with a oh, I'm sorry. It's with astute humility. So that is her statement. And again, I just think that I just think they're between a rock and a hard place by being on both sides of the coin. Um, hey, Kings Mina. We were talking about the strike, but we get ready to move into Erica, child. We get ready to move into Erica. Um, Erica has issued an apology. Erica Mena has issued an apology. Now, you know, Erica lost another job down to the All Black Network, her show Hush Child. They said that the show, Sherry Shepherd's coming back too. Yeah. They said that the show, she's on this season because they've already filmed this season, but they said that she has been fired and she will not be back for next season. So here's Erica's apology. I deeply regret my insensitive comment and want to humbly apologize to anybody I hurt or offended by my thoughtlessness. My choice of words was wrong, and I take full responsibility for what I said. I am committed to listening to the voices of those affected and will work toward making amends. As a woman of color and the mother of 2 Black children, I want to make it clear that my use of that word was not in any way racially driven. That said, I do understand the gravity of what I said and want to use my platform to promote inclusivity and equality. Sincerely, Erica Mena. You know, I want us to normalize honesty. I want us to stop with this saying things that you think we want to hear to pacify us so you can get back to the business of making money. I would much rather for Erica to come down here and say, listen, she attacked my child. I felt that she attacked my child. And in my mind, all bets were off. In hindsight, I realized that my words, some may feel, went below the belt. And I do apologize for offending you. That's it. That's all. Because let's be clear, she meant what she said because that ain't the first time she done said it. And she meant it in the way that she meant it because, again, that ain't the first time she done said it. That is not the first time you done called some Black people some monkeys. You meant it. And you meant it exactly the way you said it. And you meant it the way we took it. Now, me personally, I already told y'all how I feel. Well, we know she ain't right it. I ain't worried about that part. Y'all already. Did I need to tell y'all she ain't right it? I needed to tell y'all that. We've heard Erica Mena talk. Y'all know good and damn well she ain't write that. Good damn well she ain't write that. But what I'm saying is, I would much rather her be like, I said it, I meant it in that moment, but I realize now that, I probably could. But don't sit here and act like, oh, I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. You meant it exactly that way. But in that moment, and I already told you how I feel. We ain't about to go back down and relitigate how I feel about what she said. But in that moment, she just felt justified in it. She still, in my opinion, feels justified in it. I bet Carlos gets that interview probably. Okay, Bap. She said, I'm almost certain Erica hasn't written anything outside of social media in her adult life. Probably not. Child, probably not. Okay. Okay, now listen. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell y'all that I don't really think I give a damn about this DJ Envy, Tyrese, DJ Envy wife situation. I'm just gonna go on and tell y'all what I don't think. I just don't think I ain't been talking about it because I just don't think I care about it, because I think that Tyrese is an attention seeker. And DJ Envy, I just feel like you got bigger fish to fry. So you got 20 lawsuits right now. I think you got bigger fish to fry than worried about Tyrese and what he may have or may not have said and or did to your wife. Excuse me. I personally don't care about none of it. But I didn't want y'all to think that I was forgetting to talk about it. So I'm letting y'all know that I just don't care. I promise y'all I don't. I don't care. I don't care. All right. Let's talk for a second about Tasha K. I'm gonna just let y'all hear what Tasha K said. I'm gonna let y'all hear what Tasha K said. Okay. And then we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay.
You look like it. This I'm a raw dog queen. And you look like it. You look like it. This little girl look older than me. Older than most of y'all watching this. You see her face? Do you see her face? That brand, because I was trying to figure out what is sexy about her and what is red about her. Then I had to think. It's her blood. It's her blood. She's a walking campaign for HIV awareness. And this is...
Now listen, that's Tasha K talking about Sexy Red. Now, Sexy Red did an interview where she said that she's the raw dog queen. Now, I'm going to let y'all listen to what Tasha K said again. I'm going to let y'all listen one more time to what she's talking about, okay?
I'm the raw dog queen. And you look like it. You look like it. This little girl look older than me. Older than most of y'all watching this. You see her face? Do you see her face? That brand, because I was trying to figure out what is sexy about her and what is red about her. Then I had to think. It's her blood. It's her blood. She's a walking campaign for HIV awareness. And this is...
She went on to go off on a whole rant about... Now, Sexy Red, for those... Somebody said they don't know who that is. She's a rapper, child. And no, let's be clear. I ain't here to defend Sexy Red because I want Sexy Red to go back to where the fuck she came from. However, ain't this what your ass got in trouble with Cardi B? You can't just run around throwing diseases on people, Tasha. You can't. You said that that's where her name came from because her blood, and she is a HIV awareness poster. Ma'am. Now somebody must have got a hold of her, i.e. her attorney, must have got a hold of her and told her, ma'am, you need to go clean it up. They must have told her go clean it up. Because she posted this on her Instagram, and it says the following. A friendly reminder. We run an extremely controversial wine, gossip, and comedy show. Word of the day is gossip. We are merely discussing rumors told by third parties over wine. We make jokes about it. We spill thousands of stories, some true and some not true. However, this has been our concept for almost 8 years, and we love it here and hate it here. But the wine be good. Yum, yum. We are happy to hear that. Okay, and then she went on to talk about Ashanti and Nelly and the MTV Video Awards. So somebody must have told her, girl, you better go clean that shit up. So now she's saying that they just repeat rumors, and some of those rumors are true, and some of those rumors are not true. But don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. Okay. All I'm doing is repeating the rumors. Now let's be clear. It's not that easy, just because it's not that easy. You know what I mean? Just because somebody say something you don't like, you can't just sue them. I keep telling y'all, Cardi B made it look a lot easier than it is to win a defamation trial. But it just doesn't help, Tasha. It just don't help, girl. Anyway, moving on. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that Sexy Red is child. Sexy Red probably don't even care. I'm not saying Sexy Red about to come down here and come after Tasha K. But I just heard that yesterday, and I was like, exactly, Kia. She is a shock jock. She is absolutely a shock jock, and that's why I said Cardi B made it look a lot easier than it really is. But and that's the other thing. Cardi had the money. Sexy Red ain't got no money like that now. She can walk around with that stack of money all she wants. She ain't got that kind of money. Remember that Cardi B trial lasted for 2 years. That case started 2 years before they even went to trial. And it was motions back and forth and all this other stuff. So yeah, it ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. Exactly. All right. Let's get through. So Diddy, who is winning the Icon Award tonight at the Michael Jackson award tonight at the MTV Awards, he has gotten a victory in court in his lawsuit against the wine the vodka company that owns Ciroc. Remember, and DeLeon Vodka, remember he's suing them for racial discrimination and this, that, and the other. So, let me read you guys the information. So, Diddy is accusing the company of discriminatory practices, claiming that they failed to market his alcoholic beverages with the same efforts as other products they distribute not owned by people of color. Additionally, the musician said his former partners racially profiled his merchandise by labeling him as the Urban. He also claimed the company underfunded the drinks and stunted their growth by not promoting Ciroc vodka and DeLeon tequila in a general market. Diego publicly responded to the suit, denying all allegations and reversely arguing that any failure the brand was suffering from were on Diddy. According to the British alcohol company, Diddy only invested $1,000 into their $100 million partnership. They also claim that they repeatedly tried to work things out with the mogul to no avail. Following their comments, the company mentioned a court judge to drop the suit altogether. However, the legal official has reportedly denied their request, giving the green light for the case to proceed. Judge Joel Cohen made this decision last week on September the 7th. It's noted that he rejected Diego's request because he found Diddy, and this is a quote, made appropriate claims concerning issues that needed to be addressed by way of injunctive relief. Diego reportedly released a dissatisfied statement following the judge's ruling that read, "While we are disappointed with today's procedural decision, it is important to underscore that this is not a ruling on the merits of the claims, which we maintain are false and baseless." So y'all know that court cases are slow, and it takes a long time to wind through the court system. But this is a win for Diddy in his case because it has not been thrown out. So this is a win for Diddy. Okay. Now on the other side of the table, we have Kevin Hunter, Wendy Williams' ex-husband. He also had a win in court this week. He was allowed to proceed with his lawsuit. Now, let me read you guys. This is coming from Radar Online. Kevin Hunter secured a major win in his court battle over a New York federal judge ruled against Debmar Mercury, the production company that produced the daytime talk show, The Wendy Williams Show, and its founders, Ira Bernstein and Mort Marcus. Last year, Kevin sued the production company, claiming that he was wrongfully terminated from his role as an executive producer. After the talk show host filed for divorce and accused him of cheating in 2019. At the time, the TV producer was ultimately let go because of his alleged affair with a woman named Chade. They had to put that woman name in here. Thankfully for Kevin, however, the judge's recent ruling denied the company's attempt to dismiss the lawsuit. The suit read, "The termination of Kevin was based strictly upon Kevin's marital status and his impending divorce. So the show's host ignoring all of the contributions that Kevin made to make the show a success." In his suit, Kevin alleged that he represented Wendy Williams in 2007 during negotiations for the popular talk show. The series was given a 6-week trial, which was a hit and reportedly aired its first official episode in 2008. Kevin was used to being behind the scene of the Wendy Williams show of Wendy Williams' prior ventures, and used his business knowledge and street smarts to negotiate a significant financial increase from the initial contract being offered to Williams. In addition, Kevin claimed that he originated Wendy's famous segments Hot Topics and Shoe Cam. He also said that his contributed work included the final say on guests, marketing plans to boost ratings, building contacts in the media, assisting with reaching the show's target audience, implementing security procedures for his ex-wife. So here's the thing. We ain't gotta like Kevin. We don't have to like nothing about Kevin. But if Kevin can prove these things, and he can prove that his termination was strictly because he cheated on his wife, I don't know. He might win his lawsuit, y'all. He might win his lawsuit. Again, I ain't nobody's attorney. We might have to bring Simone out of retirement, because Simone, she be on top of this Wendy Williams stuff, child. Oops, I didn't complete that. They need to pay him, period. We may not like him or Wendy, but he was a good, strong arm manager. Yeah, I mean, again, we know. I mean, Wendy put it in her. Listen, Wendy said it in her movie. If you saw the Wendy Williams movie, Wendy said in the movie that he did all those things. She said it. Her own words. So I don't know. We'll see. And we know, right, and that was in the movie too, Marnie, that Wendy knew about the damn affair. Right. Him being fired as her manager is one thing. Him being fired as an executive producer for the show, strictly because him and Wendy were getting divorced and it wasn't about job performance. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Right, Just P. And Wendy Williams and the Wendy Williams show, it did. It pretty much imploded once he left. So, and remember, he was getting paid as long as the show was on the air as compensation for him losing the job. It wasn't Cali Girls, he cheated on his wife, which means he's fired as a manager. And as her manager, he had the job at the show. But that's two different things though. That's two different things. You can't just fire somebody because you fired them as your manager. If they were an executive producer on the show, there's labor laws. There's certain things you have to do. There's certain burdens you have to require. And what they did was he was getting paid as long as the Wendy Williams show was on the air. That's why he never complained about money until the show got canceled. Kevin didn't file his lawsuit until the show got canceled and his money stopped. That's also conveniently when allegedly he was trying to get money out of Wendy Williams' account. Mm-hmm. Right. You can't just fire him because, he's the manager. That has to be dissolved. The long game being played, in my opinion. Yeah. And again, I'm not an attorney, but this is my opinion based on the information that I've seen. Like, for example, in the case of Mary J. Blige and her divorce, right? Hey, Linda. Mary J. Blige and her divorce. Mary J. Blige had to pay her husband because he lost his job as her manager because of the divorce. Had her husband been the executive producer on her album and she fired him, I think that's separate from him being her manager. Now, granted, he may have been named executive producer because of his role as her manager. You understand what I'm saying? But it's two separate jobs though. Being an executive producer on her show is separate from him being her manager. He was getting two different paychecks. It's two different things. And that's why Mary J. Blige had to pay her ex-husband the alimony because he lost his job as her manager. Just P said he was horrible to the staff. They could have fired him for that, kind of like Ellen. Yeah, but they have to file that. At will doesn't mean you can get fired for no reason. You still at will doesn't mean, I just woke up one day and I just fired you. There's still certain things that have to happen. Now, let me say this. This doesn't mean that Kevin's going to win his lawsuit. That doesn't mean he's going to win his lawsuit. This just means that the judge feels like there's enough merit. Just like in Diddy's case, the judge feels like there's enough merit to keep going. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to win. It just means that they feel like there's enough there to keep it pushing. I think the show imploded because Kevin wasn't there to manage. I honestly believe that Wendy Williams never stopped using drugs. I just think that, or drinking. This is my opinion. I just think that Kevin was able to control it. I do agree with that. I agree that Kevin was able to keep Wendy functioning. I do believe that. I absolutely believe that. And when Kevin left, her heartbreak over Kevin leaving, on top of the fact that Kevin was not there to regulate any longer, is really, that's my opinion. Now, do I think that he's just trying to get money? Of course. Of course. Of course. But yeah. Wendy is male-centered enough to listen to him and sober up. Yeah. All right, y'all. Now let's get into uh-oh. Houston Rockets basketball player. Houston Rockets basketball player. Hold on, let me find him, child. Let me find him. Is this it right here? Nope, that's not it. Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr. is currently in serious trouble after allegedly physically assaulting his girlfriend at a New York City hotel to the point that she was left with a fractured neck and a cut above her right eye. According to ESPN, Kevin, 23, was arrested and hit with several charges from felony assault to strangulation in connection with the incident that went down Monday at the Millennium Hilton. Prosecutors claim that Kevin didn't stop attacking his girlfriend, former WNBA player Kysre Gondrezick, until she ran out into the hallway covered in blood. Upon arrival, officers were informed that the 26-year-old female sustained a laceration to the right eye and was complaining about pain to her neck. A preliminary investigation on the scene determined that a known individual struck her multiple times upon her body and placed his hands around her neck. She was taken to a local hospital for evaluation. Now, he had been arrested and he has since been released on like $80-something thousand bond. If these allegations are true, this is absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. Bab said, I wonder how long it's going to take the fans to blame her. Child, you know they will. You know they're going to be looking for it. You know they're going to be looking for it. So this is absolutely, I'm sorry, $75,000 bail. He posted his $75,000 bail. Child. These people. All right, we have a quick shit we did not ask for, and then we are going to transition into some white people news. Okay. For those of you who are new here, we have a segment that we call shit we did not ask for. Now, generally, it is food that we may or may not have asked for. But for those of you who are, if you are a member, you know you have your emojis, yet stuff we asked for, stuff we didn't. You have yes. I'm sorry, you know, your emojis, shit we did ask for, what we did not ask for. But if you are not a member, you can also play as well. Put a 1 in the chat if it's something you asked for, if it's something you would like to partake in. Put a 2 in the chat if it's not something you would like, if it's something you did not ask for. And put a 3 in the chat if it's just a hell no. Just a hell no, okay? Taco Bell introduces Mountain Dew Baja Blast flavored gelato. Now, for all of y'all that like the Baja Blast down to the Taco Bell, the ices, now they have a gelato for y'all. Y'all want that? Y'all gonna go try that gelato? I said I was gonna go by Wendy's and get a pumpkin spice frosty. I'm gonna have to get me one of them tomorrow. I said I was gonna try it. I need to translate. Well, you know, normally we don't do a lot of white people news down here, but there's a couple of things I did want to talk about. Okay. There's a couple of things I did want to talk about. Okay. I don't drink soda. Okay. So it's a 3 for you. Okay. Don't like Taco Bell. Child, I can't do Taco Bell. The last time I went to Taco Bell, I hadn't been to Taco Bell in probably 10 years. And then because they built a new Taco Bell near my house. And I said, well, you know what? I ain't been, well, it ain't new now because that's been a couple of years ago. But I said, I ain't been to Taco Bell in years. Let me just go on through here and give me a couple of tacos. The very next day, I went directly to the grocery store and I bought some ground beef, some cheese. You know, I bought the taco stuff and made my own damn tacos. I was so mad. I was so mad. Okay. And I had not had Taco Bell since I was in college. And that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. Okay. Oh God. You like Del Taco? I've never been to Del Taco. I've never been to Del Taco. All right. Now let's talk about this for a second. Child, let's get into these people. Mm, mm, mm. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that Whoopi Goldberg had a folding chair necklace on? Y'all know she had the COVID last week, so she wasn't on the View. She came back this week, baby, and she has a folding chair necklace. I'm not mad at you, Whoopi. That's why we stand Whoopi here. That is why we love Whoopi Goldberg. Okay, she had a folding chair necklace. Okay. All right, let's talk about this, y'all. Hold on, I gotta scroll down so I can play y'all what I want y'all to know. Now, Jocelyn, Carlos dropped part 2 of his interview with Jocelyn. Yeah, I might listen to it tomorrow, and if it's something I want to talk about, we'll talk about it. But I just don't know if it's anything I want to talk about. All right, so y'all know Abby Lee Miller from Dance Moms. She has a new show coming out, right? And so she's out promoting her new show. So she was down to a podcast on yesterday. And she said the following. Now, y'all just got to hear it for yourself if you haven't already heard it. Okay. I'm going to let y'all hear what she said. Now, this is Abby talking to the people.
What? All the right moves? No. That's the best movie ever. With him in it? Oh my God, yes. All the right moves. He's a high school football player. Ooh. That's my downfall. I like the high school football players. I still like them. I like the coaches. Not one that used to be in high school, but one that is. Yes. What? All the right moves? No. That's the best movie ever. With him in it? Oh my God, yes. All the right moves. He's a high school football player. Ooh. That's my downfall. I like the high school football players. I still like them. I like the coaches. Not one that used to be in high school, but one that is. Yes. What? All the right moves?
This woman said
that's the best movie ever.
That she like high school football players. And the woman tried to save her. The woman tried to save her and say, oh, I like the coaches. She said, and she even said they used to be football players. She said, no, I like the football players that are still in high school now. Yeah, she went to jail for taxes, I think. So
what? All the right moves?
She tried to come down here and clean it up. And I just hate to be the one to tell. I'm gonna let y'all hear what she said. I'm gonna let y'all hear what she said. She tried to come down here and clean it up. And I'm gonna let y'all hear what she said.
Set the record straight. Mm-hmm. I do like those hot, athletic, muscular types of guys. The jocks. I always have, and I always will. And they must be able to go out to a club, Gable in Vegas, rent an ADA-compliant, handicapped, accessible van. And they should also have a business, a bank account, success, and passion in their own right. Now, if you saw the movie All the Right Moves, starring Tom Cruise, playing a high school football star, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, go watch it, and then you'll know. This November is my high just to set the record straight. Mm-hmm. I do like those hot, athletic, muscular types of guys. the jocks. I always have, and I always will. And they must be able to go out to a club, gamble in Vegas, rent an ADA-compliant, handicapped accessible van, and they should also have a business, a bank account, success, and passion in their own right.
Ma'am, that is not even what you said. You ain't say you like the muscular type, the jock. You said you like high school boys. That's what you said. Now that might not be what. First of all, the woman gave you a chance to clean it up, and you stood in it. You stood in it. That woman gave you a chance to clean it up, and you stood in that shit. And somebody put in the chat, what if that had been a man? Exactly. What if that had been a man that said he liked high school cheerleaders? And the person said, what do you mean? You mean like college cheerleaders that used to be, or professional cheerleaders that used to be high school cheerleaders? Nah, I mean high school now. Ain't nowhere in the world they could clean that shit up. Ain't no way. Y'all already know. Let that have been anybody. So I ain't even gonna put no name on it. Let that have been any grown. This woman is in her 60s. Let that have been a 60-year-old man doing an interview promoting his TV show, white, black, or indifferent, talking about he like high school cheerleaders. If you don't go sit your and hope that the po ain't at your do tomorrow morning, the hell is wrong with you? Now, y'all remember a couple of months ago, right? Then she tried to act like Tom Cruise was old. Right, he was like 20. Y'all know how old that movie is she talking about? Tom Cruise was like 20 years old. And let's be clear, an actor who's in their 20s playing a high school student is not a problem. That ain't the issue. Hello, 90210. Remember Andrea? Andrea ass was 30, playing a high school student. 21 Jump Street. I mean, it happens all the time. That ain't the issue, ma'am. Tom Cruise, although there's a lot of issues with Tom Cruise, that ain't one of them. That's not one of them. Tom Cruise playing a high school student at 20, that is not your... Ma'am, you have missed the issue here. I don't need... Right, Donna Ross was damn near 40 years old playing Dorothy. And for the record, Lionel Richie, see, I wasn't going to go there. You brought up Donna Ross, little baby, so you can blame little baby for this. For the record, Lionel Richie, listen, Lionel Richie, come here. See, y'all making me tap the screen. Come here. Lionel, come here. Now, Lionel Richie made the comment after Donna Ross sang happy birthday to Beyonce last week, okay? It was a moment. It was beautiful. I ain't even a Beyonce fan, and I ain't a Donna Ross fan, but I thought that the moment was beautiful. But come here, let me tell you something. Now, Lionel Richie talking about some. I've been trying to get Donna Ross to sing on stage with me for years, and she won't even do it. She won't return my phone calls. Sir, she don't like you. She don't like you. She ain't never liked you. She ain't liked you since y'all Motown days when you was the head of the Commodores and you went solo and y'all did that song, Endless Love. Y'all remember, for people who old enough to remember Endless Love, and if you a young tenderoni, Google it. It's a really beautiful song. It is a beautiful song, okay? But I'm telling y'all, because y'all know I done read all these books on Motown. Y'all know I love me some Motown. I done read all these books on Motown, okay? Listen, let me tell y'all how it went down. Donna Ross was mad because she felt like Berry Gordy was putting too much effort into Lionel Richie's solo career and solo album instead of her solo album. And they did this duet called Endless Love, but they were putting it on Lionel Richie's album instead of putting it on her album. And she was pissed off about it. She didn't even do the video. Okay? The video is it is a robot. It is a mechanical Diana Ross in the video. Okay, she ain't liked you since then, Lionel. So hell no, she ain't getting on stage with you. She don't like you. Now he tried to come back talking about something he was playing. You wasn't playing. You meant that. She don't like you. You never knew C Golden? Mm-hmm. See? Learn something new every day. Child done read all them books. See, look at you. I said, I done read all them books. Well, damn. Pass it. Well, damn. Listen, I told you I love biographies and autobiographies. And when I get obsessed about something, I need to read everything about it. So I read Mary Wilson's book, Supreme, My Life as a Supreme. And from there, I became obsessed with Motown and I read everything. And J. Randy Tabarelli, he wrote an unauthorized biography on Diana Ross called Call Her Miss Ross. That's where it's in that book. It's in that book. Call Her Miss Ross. Oh, Lionel is definitely a better singer than Diana Ross. I mean, that's hands down. And he's a better talent. Like Lionel Richie writes his music. He's a better all around artist. But it still don't change the fact that she don't like him. She don't like him. Child. Anyway. Moving on, y'all. Moving on. I'm sorry. See, if you hadn't said Diana Ross, I never would have said that, child. I never would have said that. Woo. Oh God. Yana, right. So you remember that part, Yana? You remember that them talking about Diana Ross? So somebody said she should be mad at her baby daddy. What? So y'all about to make me go down a whole nother road. But what people have to understand about Diana Ross is Diana Ross, from the very beginning, it was business for her. Her affair with Berry Gordy was never about, but I can say never. Never's a strong word. It wasn't about love as much as it was about business and it was about extending her career. By the time she was going solo, her relationship with Berry Gordy was, for all intents and purposes, over. And when she left, and listen, people talk about Berry Gordy, and listen, Berry Gordy ain't do much better for Diana Ross than he did for any of his other artists. She got a lot more from Berry Gordy while she was with Motown because she was sleeping with him. But when Diana Ross got ready to leave Motown, she left Motown with less than $100,000 in her bank account, and she was Diana Ross. And that's why she even left Motown, because she didn't have no money. And so when she was going solo, yeah, she absolutely expected Berry Gordy to do all of those things. And she felt like he was putting other people in front of her. She didn't like Marvin Gaye either. She couldn't stand Marvin Gaye. Now, she probably had good reason not to like Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was a drug addict. Marvin Gaye was an asshole. I mean, I like Marvin Gaye, but when you talk about somebody to work with, Diana Ross was very much a perfectionist. She was very professional. She was very much, if I'm supposed to be at the studio at 8, I'm going to be at the studio at 8. And if we got to stay here all night until the song is done, we're going to stay here all night until the song is done. Well, we know that Marvin Gaye, if they're supposed to be at the studio at 8, he'd show up at 11 and he'd be high. And you know what I mean? Like, so she ain't like Marvin Gaye ass either. And that song they did a couple of songs together, especially after Tammy Terrell died. They did a couple of songs together, and Diana Ross could not stand Marvin Gaye. Anyway, see, y'all done got me getting on my Motown stories, honey. Y'all done got me getting on my Motown stories, child. She wasn't perfect. She mistreated a lot of people. Oh, definitely not. I told you I'm not a Diana Ross fan, but I mean, I just call it like I see it. Anyway, child. All right, let's get back to this. Let's finish up, because we've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. We almost done. So listen. Y'all remember a couple of months ago when everybody came down on Iggy Azalea when we found out that Iggy wrote that letter for Tory? With Danny Masterson, and some of y'all may not remember who Danny Masterson is. I talked to y'all the other day. We talked about that the other day. He was just convicted of sexual assault. He was convicted to basically life in prison because I think he's got like 40 years. He's in his 50s. Child, he ain't going nowhere. Well, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, I always say her name wrong. You know, they're husband and wife. They were all on that 70s show together. They wrote letters for Danny Masterson, and it came out. So, baby, they had to go on this whole apology tour. They had to go on this whole apology tour where they had to, you know, say, basically make it seem like, oh, well, the family just called us and asked us to write a letter, and we do support victims, and, you know, we're sorry if that caused any, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, they had to do a whole little video with no makeup on, looking all pitiful and shit, you know, hair back in a ponytail, sitting on their front stoop, you know, trying to make it look real regular, you know. Listen, let me say this, and some of y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. Some of y'all not gonna like what I'm. Oh, y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say. When an allegation is made, you have a choice to make. You choose to believe the victim, or you choose to believe the accused. Right? When you have been friends with somebody since y'all were teenagers, and y'all probably done been through some things together, I can understand why they wrote that letter. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying I understand why. I can understand. I'm not saying I do understand. I can understand. No, you absolutely have the option to stay out of it. I understand that too. But what I'm saying is, Iggy Azalea ain't know shit about Tory Lanez. And when she met the man, he had already been accused of shooting Meg Thee Stallion. Now, if I were them, would I have written that letter? Hell no. I'm sorry. Listen, you my friend, and I can help you from the sideline. If you need help, you know, you might need some money for your lawyer. You might need me to put some money on your books. I mean, you might need some help. You might need some help. Okay. But going back to what I said earlier in this, when we were talking about Erica's apology, sometimes I wish people would just stand in their shit. I would have respected them more had they said that. I would have respected them more had they said, listen, I have known Danny for 30 years, and I've never known him to be that person. And I wrote that letter. Now that I understand all of the facts of the case, I wouldn't have done it then. I would not have made that decision. You know what I mean? I just feel like I understand why they did it. Now, I'm not saying they should have done it, because they should have stayed the hell out of it. You're right. But I understand why they did. I absolutely understand why they wrote the character letter. And again, I also think people's language is what gets them in trouble too, child. Now, here's what happened. Baby, now they done opened up that back door, and all kinds of skeletons are falling out of Ashton Kutcher's closet. All kinds of skeletons, including that he allegedly was grooming Mila when they was down on that 70s show. Now, remember, they dated. And let me say this too, y'all. I don't know how much older Ashton is than Mila. I don't know. I ain't done the math. I'm sure somebody can put it in and somebody might know. I don't know about this 70s show because I really ain't done the research on this 70s show. But I know the 90210 stories because that's my era. 70s show, I was a little bit older. I watched it, but I wasn't all into it like that. Baby, she was 14 and he was 19. Okay. I watched I mean, I read the book again. I read the books, right? I watched the behind the scenes stuff and all of that. Um, they was all they was all drinking. They was all going to clubs. They was in that Hollywood life. And that's probably the same thing that was happening down to that 70s show. I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm just saying that is what was going on, child. That is what was going on. Most of the cast didn't know that she was underage. Ooh, that's ooh. So now, baby, he got skeletons falling up out of his closet. But Taryn Manning, who she need to go sit down too. Taryn Manning need to go sit down. Taryn Manning, who came down here, what was that, a couple of weeks ago, telling us about the married man she was dating, who she was trying to buy a boat for, and how she was eating his ass. Remember her from Orange is the New Black? Oh, she lied to get the show, but then after they started filming, they knew. Okay, she then came down here and said she came out here defending Danny Masterson and said he made a mistake. He's already suffering enough. Now, see, now she's the one who need her ass beat. Okay, she's the one who need the ass whooping. I understand that just because you've known somebody for 30 years doesn't mean you know them 24/7. What I'm saying is, if it was somebody I've known for 30 years, I can understand why they wanted to write the letter. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that makes them right. I'm not saying that makes them right, y'all. But I'm saying I understand why they did it. Iggy Azalea, I don't put her in that same category. Um, she is. I feel like she's just as crazy as her character on Orange is the New Black. Like, I thought she was acting. Come to find out, she was just showing up for work every day. She wasn't acting. She was just being herself. She said she's still talking. You know what? That's a good question. I don't think she's a Scientologist, though. I don't think she's a Scientologist. Now she's a crackhead. Just ignore her. Child. All right, it's 250. I think we got up to like 280 people in the room. I hope everybody hit that like button, please, and thank you. I hope you guys hit that like button. Child, listen, we are not even going to entertain her, okay? Because somebody probably really, somebody need to go take her phone. Somebody need to go take her phone, for real. No. Please hit that like button. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. You know, that's what we do. We have a good time here. Okay, now I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'm about to eat my dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm about to eat my dinner, and then I'm not. We'll talk tomorrow about the VMAs. I ain't gonna talk about the VMAs today. We'll talk tomorrow about the VMAs. Um, I probably will do my Salt Lake City before I go to bed. I have not watched the next episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. So when I finish watching that one, y'all will get another drop on that. She is a Scientologist. Oh, well, if she's a Scientologist, child, then throw all that out the window. Is anyone watching Nikki hosting the MTV Awards? Oh, she's hosting? I'm probably going to watch it, though. I'm probably going to watch it. But y'all know me. I usually fast forward and just look at the performances, and because I think they do NSYNC is doing their reunion. They're gonna. I don't know. I don't know if Justin Timberlake gonna be there or not, but I'm sure he is. So they got the NSYNC thing. Diddy's getting his Vanguard Award. I think they said Cardi and Meg are going to be performing their new song Bongos. Nicki's performing. So anyway, y'all, let me get out of here. I'm starving. I haven't eaten dinner. I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.